To our members, to our Sasbo family, today we are going to talk about Section 189. This section, it talks to when an employer contemplates to go into a retrenchment. Sasbo, the finance union, we are deadly against any kind of retrenchment that might be take place. So to take you through into the understanding what Section 189 entails and what are the processes that we follow, our Assistant General Secretaries as well as the National Secretaries are going to really give us a background of what is it that we do as the union to make sure that we safeguard the job of our members.
Section 189 is being governed by the Labour Relations Act, and a part thereof is also being governed by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act with regards to severance pay. What is very important about this particular retrenchment is that it must be substantively and procedurally fair. A no-fault dismissal means it's not as a result of the behaviour of the employee, but it is as a result of the employer providing information, of contemplating and giving reasons why he or she intends on affecting people and reducing jobs. Sasbo has collective agreements with most of the financial institutions, and it's in that position that we can successfully secure very high retrenchment and severance pay packages, even that which is higher as prescribed by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act.
It is only after the consultation process has been finalised that you can move over into a recruitment phase where the ring fencing of positions is of paramount importance. We look at other measures to avoid dismissals. In ABSA there is a collective agreement. This agreement makes provision for people to leave the service of the bank on a basis where you get compensated 3 weeks compensation for every completed year of service. That's excluding all the other benefits or payments that must come your way, such as leave payout, accumulated leave payout, UIF, etc., etc. Then you go on reassignment. It's a sincere and genuine attempt to make sure that we place as many people as possible in positions that are available outside the ring-fenced positions. The reassignment period is a period of 3 months at full pay, full benefits, where the union actively assists you by means of a placement exercise where we liaise through people's potential, or by means of a grievance process to ensure that you retain your job. The number of forced retrenchments in ABSA have over the years been very, very low. And it's a result of the collective agreement that the bank has in place with the union.
Sasbo has managed to stand above and really look out for the interest of its members as best as it could. One success story was what we achieved in Ubank, where we had 215 affected staff. We further managed to negotiate a voluntary severance package and voluntary early retirement package that was way above the minimum requirement, and that amounted to 2 weeks pay for every year of service plus 3 months enhancement. At the end of that particular process, we had 0 forced retrenchments.
Standard Bank announced that they're going to close 100 branches. So overnight, more than 1,000 positions became redundant, and once we had gone through the consultation process, we had to then see how we can minimize the impact on staff. In terms of our agreement, voluntary severances were made available. So there were a lot of people that came to Sasbo and said, I'm not affected, but I'd like to leave and create a vacancy for somebody else that can't afford to leave. I'm in a position to go on early retirement, and from the 1,700 people that were affected, only 81 people were retrenched, forcefully retrenched. We are going to make a difference and give you much more than what you've been entitled to in terms of the law through the improvements that we've been able to negotiate over the years to ensure that the pain is not as bad as what you would have had otherwise, and that you open up doors for yourself to reskill and upskill yourself up to a value of 40,000 Rand to carry on with your career, if not in the banking industry, then anywhere else that you're interested in.
We understand that sometimes it's imminent that retrenchment will take place. And whenever retrenchment takes place within the space where we are organizing, we are forced to negotiate and consult with the employer. We had 2 court cases in 2019. The Labour Court ruled in our favor in a matter between Nedbank and Fourie, and Nedbank and Mudibani. These are the two victories that one can claim as the union.
Sasbo have in recent time negotiated two very important changes to the FNB retrenchment policy. First being the retrenchment package. Historically, that was 73% of package, so an affected employee would get paid 73% based on the 2 weeks for every year. Sasbo negotiated that should be changed to 100% of package. That is very significant. That's a 27% difference. The second change was changing the redeployment period from 30 days to 60 days. That additional 30 days allows employees to receive an additional month's salary. In the second instance, add an additional month's contribution to their pension fund, and finally, and probably most importantly, to find an alternative position. So that allows an employee to use that 30 days to find a suitable alternative.
Sasbo is fundamentally opposed to any retrenchments. It is an unfortunate reality that we face restructurings with potential retrenchments across the financial services industry. I just want to refer to one case study, a large-scale retrenchment within Bidvest Bank. The original Section 1893 notice issued to our members indicated that 631 positions were directly affected, with the potential of 400 retrenchments. Following engagements which were quite vigorous with Bidvest, we managed to reduce that number, which translated into 89 jobs being saved. All severances would be implemented on the 30th of November, which Sasbo viewed to be cruel and inhumane for various reasons. December being festive season, opportunity of re-employment during December is almost zero. That was changed to the end of December. This in itself made a huge difference, not only on the timing, but also in regards to the member severance packages.
SPV contemplated retrenching 852 of its employees. Sasbo was successful in minimizing the ultimate number of forced retrenchments down to 6. Where we played an important role in that process was the intervention of the CCMA, which had facilitated the process from the onset, and we had also utilized the process to ensure that there were fair selection criteria in place. It also ensured that a number of our members were promoted emanating from this Phase 3 restructuring. A number of our members were accommodated in terms of lateral moves, and where demotions were unavoidable, Sasbo negotiated that the reductions in pay were deferred and coincided with the salary review date, thereby minimizing the actual impact in terms of reduction in net pay. The Reserve Bank was contemplating closing a number of its branches. Sasbo's role within the consultation was to announce the severance packages, and in this regard, the package that we managed to negotiate was 6 weeks for every completed year of service. In All Mutual, Sasbo has encountered some problems within the consultation process. At the heart of the process is a joint consensus-seeking process, and we were concerned that the process was a bit divisive in terms of the way the employer was approaching it. In this regard, we've exercised our rights by referring the matter to the CCMA to highlight what our concerns are as the union, and to also try to influence positive changes within the structure of the consultation process.
We have many successes in terms of legislation. We have managed to stop a few retrenchments. We've managed to have a few reinstatements. There are always issues like the business rationale, selection criteria, which the union can take up. Just our legal expenses the past 2 years have actually tripled if we look at the number of cases that we've won. And we've won most of our cases in the Labour Court. So it makes sense, and Sasbo makes a difference.
Viva Sasbo!
Viva Sasbo, viva!